What is going on, guys? Oh,
I'm back.
hey now. We're back. 10 fours in chat. 10 fours in chat. Happy Monday. We survived. Jovan, thank you for holding down BTL at the end of last week, man, while I was on my golf trip. Appreciate it, my dude. Happy to say that the coins returned home. Units were deployed on the course, and we came through and we actually went 6-1. My team did. So at least I might not have hit my NFL bets yesterday, but coins came back from golf. Thank God. Um, Hope everyone had a decent weekend. Hope everyone still has some coins for the week. It was tough. It was tough out there. Underdogs grubbed, kind of. They went, let me see here. They went 9-6 ATS yesterday, or at least so far this week, including Thursday Night Football. Underdogs went 9-6 ATS. 5 of them have won outright. So begs the question again: is it even worth taking the points? Do you just sprinkle on the ML? I think it depends on the situation, but a lot of these dogs, the ones that are barking, are winning outright too. So definitely something to keep in mind. You guys know I'm always taking the points because I'm soft and I'm scared to take MLs. But at least I'm taking plus bets. It is what it is. Chad, I hope you guys are doing good. See more drip. Hope you're having a great fucking day, my man. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Monday. Let's hit some bets tonight. All right? Why not us? Why not us? Jovan, you do okay this weekend? I know TCU came through.
Yeah, I mean, I did well. I would say I was probably a little biased of a nuke on the Frogs, but worked out.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, NFL, I'm pretty sure I split like everything. I had like
Okay.
two biggest plays were on the Bucks and the under in the Cardinals game. And those split.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out the Bucks for just not trying in the second half, but it was pretty good. Props were pretty good.
Yeah, go guards. Our man saying in chat. I don't know, man. This is like the worst series of all time.
Whoa.
It's like if my two exes become best friends and have to see them taking Snapchats forever now. That's like the worst. It's like my worst nightmare. That's what this series really is.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee of the series.
I think I'm a Yankees fan too. Just the amount of coins I've lost on the Poverty Guardians that just continue to win somehow. It's too much. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And we're going to talk about these series prices. I want to kind of dive into them either today or tomorrow for the series that start, the divisional series that start tomorrow. I made some coin on the series prices this past weekend. Went 2-2, but the two wins were dogs, and they were barking. The Padres came through. The fucking Mariners came through. Plus chick. So feeling pretty good about these MLB playoff bets. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Have not been bragging about it because my MLB bets in the regular season were so bad, but they've been hitting. That's all I'm going to say. So they've been hitting of late. Thank God. Betting in the MLB playoffs is a little bit different. A lot more unders. If you guys have noticed, like last night, still got that under. Thank God. 6.5. Barely hit by the skin of my teeth, but never in doubt. Came through. And we saw all that Musgrove BS. Are you buying into that he was just having icy hot on his ears? Or are you thinking that was a little sketch?
I mean, it makes sense. It's just I don't know if you saw like the tweets or whatever it was about his RPM and his spin rates being up a ridiculous amount, which that especially on like a slider and a curveball, that doesn't just like happen because of adrenaline or because you're juiced up for a big game. Like there are significant amounts. But I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert in any of that shit, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. His ears did look like he was drowning in elephant piss. Correct. Molly's in chat. That is very accurate. But a lot of these pitchers, they're fucking weirdos, and they'll put icy hot on their ears so that they get that weird burning sensation. They feel like they're locked in when they're up on the mound. So I saw a lot of people talking about that. I also saw a tweet that talked about his RPMs after they called him out in his last 2 innings of work. His RPMs actually went up. They got even better after he called him out. So maybe he was just absolutely cracked out. Maybe he had some serious adrenaline going, or maybe he was cheating. Who knows? We'll never really know. MLB doesn't want anyone to find out that they were cheating anyway. So now the fact the game's over, you're not going to hear a single thing about it because that's a terrible look for the MLB, right? You're not going to hear a single peep about Joe Musgrove the rest of the time. Who knows? Who knows? Jake Peavy used to put icy hot on his balls. I don't know if I can believe that one. I love Lamp. I don't know if I can believe that.
I don't know. Jake Peavy sounds like one of those guys that could do it.
I don't know if I can believe that because that sounds like maybe the most painful thing ever. And that cannot be safe. That cannot be FDA approved. No chance. No chance. If that's actually true, though, I don't even know what to say. Jake Peavy is a freak, though. 100%. Yeah. Chat's having a field day with this. Yeah. We've got Monday Night Football tonight. We've got series starting up tomorrow. We're going to go in. We're going to dive into some of these real quick, though. Got to be corp for a second. Go follow us on Pickett. No more sneak units available. Now you guys get to see how much I actually have pending, if I'm sneak deploying units or not, because you link all your sports books up there, and it just connects and it pulls all the data from the sports books and leads to accurate representation of how many units are up and down. So if you go follow me on Pickett, you'll see that I'm up coin, which is good because I do sneak bet sometimes on stuff behind the scenes. You got to do what you got to do to pay rent, straight up. But everything I bet on, you guys know I'm putting coins on it. I've always showed the Carfax. You guys know that. Sometimes I'm just adding a little bit more on top because I don't like giving out 5-unit plays all the fucking time. But I've got an edge sometimes, and sometimes I feel like I have an edge, and I have to. But follow us on Pickett. Pretty sure my username is @Krabs. Keep it simple. Jovan, I don't know what yours is. Probably @Jovan something.
Yeah, I think it's my Twitter without the space.
Word.
I have to look.
Word. Can you spell that for us? Yeah, KRABS. Grow up, Chase. How about the Ravens last night? They didn't fucking cover, but they sure as hell won. That was just a hardball Justin Tucker masterclass was what that was. That was just out coaching. Bengals just not having the juice. Baltimore finally getting a win at home. You know, Baltimore sneakily lost their last 5 games at home, which they don't do. They don't do that often. Like, they're at home. They win at home. They have an edge. I don't think you've ever been to Baltimore to see a game there, but if anybody's been in chat, if anybody in chat's been to a game at M&T Bank, that place is fucking awesome. And that's coming from a guy who is a Commanders fan who's grown up being jealous of the Ravens fans my entire life. And I'm saying that. So, got to believe it. That place was fucking electric last night, and Justin Tucker is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Plain and simple.
He's the GOAT. I mean, sports books, that's probably the perfect scenario is what they wanted there last night, honestly, with the Ravens winning and not covering. I'm sure they made out just fine. But shout out JT, never in doubt. You had a funny tweet. You're like, did anyone ever think he was actually going to miss that? Fuck no. Dude.
Yeah, like realistically, we all knew damn well it was going in. I don't know if you saw that other tweet too, saying that like if the goalposts were half a yard wide, it still would have been good. Like, insane, absolutely insane.
Literally, dude. The guy's so fucking accurate. Stadium been shaken. Yeah, that stadium is awesome. If you guys are ever in Baltimore, I'd never really recommend to go there, but Orioles games, Ravens games, they're fun. Also, they have an aquarium there that's pretty cool. So there's 3 things you can do where you're probably not going to get shot in Baltimore. That's about it, though. Those are the only 3 things. How about the Commanders, man? How about everyone blaming Carson Wentz, even though he really did have a good game, and it sucks that he had that pick at the end.
Yeah.
But, dude, our O-line is maybe the worst O-line I've ever seen in an NFL game.
It's terrible.
The worst. The worst. It's not even like the Titans D-line is like that. They're mid. They're average. They're mid. That was really fucking embarrassing. Coaching wise, it sucks that we went for it on 4th and 4 on the Titans 35 or whatever earlier on in the 4th quarter. Probably should have kicked that field goal, and that would have set us up pretty nicely there at the end. But it's time to sell the team. I mean, I got it right up here behind me. You guys already know. Sell the fucking team. Fire everybody. Let's restart again, just like we've done every single 6-year period since I've been following the team. Time to restart again. It is what it is. This team has aged me greatly, and they will continue to age me because I'm not giving up. and I never will. But your Bucks came through, whether it was a little sketchy or not.
Yeah.
I mean, row fit though, De'Ami Brown, like those balls were absolute pearls. Those 2 throws to De'Ami Brown were absolute pearls that most quarterbacks in the league are not hitting that throw.
Yeah.
A 75-yard touchdown pass to De'Ami Brown. Carson Wentz might be an idiot and throw picks and fumble and look like an idiot sometimes, but probably a handful of guys that make that throw, and he's one of them. The other touchdown pass later in the game where you put it in the one spot where you could catch it. De'Ami Brown one-handed left side of the end zone. Not many quarterbacks are making that throw. Carson Wentz does stupid shit, but our defense is forced 1 turnover the whole year. 1. That's embarrassing. We're supposed to win with our defense. Fire everybody. Get rid of them all except for Cam Curl and Jonathan Allen. Everybody else, walk. And our O-line looks like if me and Jovan tried to go out there and block against a D-line. Straight up. So not Carson Wentz's fault. Anyone who was saying that Carson Wentz lost us that game last night, I cannot trust your football opinion. Was he the nail in the coffin? Was that a terrible throw? Yes. But he kept us in that fucking game when most quarterbacks would not. Behind that O-line, they'd probably look worse. So he looked fine. That was just brutal. Terrible coaches. Riverboat Ron, I'm hopping off the boat. I'm drowning. I don't give a fuck. I'm not staying on your boat, dude. You suck. End of rant. Thank you for listening. That's my football therapy. Now we can move on. Tom Brady. Did you think that was a fucking roughing the passer, or was that absolute cheese?
Not at all. But I mean, it's
your brain works. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like, that was called 2 other times throughout the league, and of course, like, nobody says shit. But also, I don't know if anybody who commented on it watched the play directly before it, where there was a pretty blatant pass interference call that was missed. That was pretty much a makeup call for that would have effectively ended the game the same way. So, it's a terrible call, but at least it was a makeup call. They actually missed quite a few of those in the game. So, I mean, it's deserved. Can't say it was a great call, but it is what it is.
Impressive how bad these refs are, man. It really is. It's impressive. If anybody had Colorado State first half, which, I mean, if you had them, call the number, but I had them first half minus 11.5 live, and the refs had maybe the worst spot I've ever seen in my entire life. It was short by 2 yards. I'm sure you saw the tweets.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It is what it is. Shout out JMU, by the way. I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, saying who's the best football team in Virginia. And I was saying JMU, and people were like, no, it's ODU. No, it's UVA. No, it's JMU. They're actually really fucking good. And now they're ranked 25 in the country. Yep, JMU. Got to shout out my Virginia school. Although the kids who go there are the ones that didn't get into VT, I still, respect their football program, and they do know how to party. So I'll give them that. They have a lot of girls go to that school too. So there's 3 good wins there. That team is legit, and they're already ranked in their first year as a real FBS team. That's impressive, honestly. Shout out to them. They've been kicking everyone's dicks in, and they need more respect. People are going to be checking their new rankings, being like, who the hell is JMU? Remember the name. They've had a good football program for years. It's been them and North Dakota State who have ran FCS for the past decade, right? So this team is really good, and they are the best team in Virginia, not even close. And now they're finally getting some respect.
Yeah.
JMU, man. Who would have thought? Ranked in their first real season in an actual conference. And VT's given up 600 yards and 6 touchdown passes to a running back in one game. Or rushing touchdowns. ACC record. 6 touchdowns in a game, 1 guy. I've never seen that before. That was hilarious. TCU came through for you. Yeah. I locked in -7 like a bot, so I pushed. But if anybody got that at a better number, because we were talking about it all week, I hope you did. I hope you got it in a better number, and I hope you cashed, because TCU, maybe they got blessed with Jaden Daniels getting hurt, maybe whatever. Who gives a hoot? They came through. They won. They covered.
I don't think they did though. I think it. I mean, we saw it played out, but like from a football brain perspective, Jalen Daniels staying in the game would have been perfect, because he can't read that defense, which is why they scored 0 points pretty much in the first half. So, I mean, Bean came in and looked like Patrick Mahomes off the rip, because he's been there before. He's played this defense. He's had success against the defense. Hopefully they get him back. It's looking like, by the line that we're seeing on this Oklahoma game next week for them, that he's not going to be back. So we'll see how that plays out.
Okay. Well, let's pivot and talk some baseball real quick, and then we can kind of dive into Monday Night Football because I know that's at the centerfold of what people want to hear, right? We all got to lock bets in for tonight.
Of course.
I already do have plus 7.5 locked in on the Raiders, and I do recommend if you want to take the Raiders tonight, I'd go ahead and lock that in now because the line's moved to 7 on a lot of books. So I took 7.5. I'm in. But let's talk about some of these series prices real quick. I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to go over what we like as soon as I fucking figure out how to share my screen again. Here we go. Boop. All right. So I want to keep the train rolling with these futures. I mean, I have Padres plus 2,800 futures still alive, which is pretty fire. I've got a Astros plus 425 futures still alive. Let's see what they're at now. Astros line moved down somehow already. They haven't even played yet. And Padres are plus 1,100. So good value, although good value doesn't mean shit. Good value, though. I want to talk about these, though, the series. So let's go over them each real quick. I mean, Braves are rolling, right?
Yeah. I would have to say so.
Okay, I can't see your face right now because I'm screen sharing, but was that a real yeah or was that I don't know, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Phillies can compete with them to some degree, but I mean, once we get like the Phillies are pretty built to thrive in like a 3-game series like they had, which I mean, them winning that in 2 games was perfect because then they only got through Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, which is all they need. But once we get into the back end of that rotation, the Braves are just too good of an offense.
Ooh, we lose you?
I'm here.
You're there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're cutting out there for a sec.
Oh.
I don't know how I don't take the Braves here. I don't know if I even want to lay the minus 185. I mean, that's disgusting, but I think the Cardinal. It was more of a Cardinals fold than a Phillies dominating series, in my opinion. Although I was very impressed by Nola.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's in the question of like them being in position. Like I know they scored a ton of runs late in those games, but them being in position to take the lead and win those games was because they got such great performances from those 2 guys. So,
right.
I don't know if their backhand is going to be able to do that against the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves just have a significant pitching advantage. They really do, and the bullpen, it's not even close, and that's what wins series, in my opinion. So, I'm going with the Braves here, and I think you can agree. We might not love the value here on minus 185, but I think at the end of the day, maybe it goes a little longer than we expect, but I think I have the Braves probably winning this one in 4 games. Is this best of 5 or best of 7?
5, I believe.
Best of 5, right? So I have them winning this in 4 games. I think they win 3-1. You cool with this?
I'm cool with that.
All right. Well, let's dive into the even grosser matchup. It's Houston and Seattle's. Maybe there's some magic brewing with Seattle. This team hasn't been in the playoffs in forever. What a comeback win on Saturday. Absolutely insane. They were down 7-1, I think, and they won that game. Yep. Shout out Cal Raleigh, the GOAT, the actual GOAT Cal. Our Cal. He's a beast. What are we thinking here? I mean, kind of like how I just said with the Phillies. I don't really know if the Phillies won that series or if it was more just an opponent melt. The Mariners, kind of the same thing. I mean, Toronto just kind of folded like a fucking lawn chair and melts it. And I think Houston wins this series. I just, like you've talked about so much, who's beating this rotation? I don't know. I don't think it's the Mariners. And I don't know how Seattle did, this year against Houston specifically, but I want to take Houston here. I know it's minus 220, but I think this team's winning the whole goddamn thing, and it starts here. And Seattle's a cool story and all, but let's not act like they forgot. Let's not act like they didn't forget how to hit for the last month of the season, because they kind of did. And I think it was more just a Blue Jays absolute fold piece.
Yeah, I mean the Blue Jays rotation and bullpen. Even though I'm not going to put it on the rotation because the rotation starters were good, but their bullpen makes everybody look good. I mean, they make the Rays look good, even when they play them in the regular season for a lot of the time. I mean, they have seen him quite a bit. I'm very interested to see. Like, I think the Astros win the series for sure because I don't think I'm not going to pick anybody to beat the Astros in a series. But Their rotation is obviously both of them have seen each other quite a bit. I'm interested to see how the first game unfolds because I would think that it's going to be Logan Gilbert, who he's pitched pretty good recently, like towards the end of the season, but he's also pitched
Right.
really, really good even when he wasn't such a, so on fire, pitched really good against the Astros. So if they get that game one win over Verlander, that could definitely make the series very interesting.
100%. So what you're saying is maybe even wait until after game one, see if Seattle can pull off a win, and then you could get this more at almost like a pick 'em, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked, depending on where that line settles once they announce Gilbert. Would not be shocked to see them take that one.
Yeah, I mean, this is disrespect to Logan Gilbert, honestly. And we're not Logan Gilbert fans by any means, but this is disrespect to how well he's pitched against Houston this season.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Although the total kind of tells you that it's going to be a pretty good pitcher's duel. Verlander has looked better than he has of late. I mean, he's not absolutely locked in right now. I wouldn't say.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think 6.5 pushing 7 with as well as Gilbert's pitched against the Astros this year. I know it's not officially announced yet. Maybe that has something to do with it, but that seems a tad high.
Right. Okay. That is true. It is juiced to the over.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, people who haven't been betting baseball for a million years like we have, the totals are all going to be way lower for the playoffs. It has to do with weather, and it has to do with just teams playing tighter game scripts, putting in, relievers earlier than you normally would. You're getting starters with way shorter leashes. You're getting must-win games, right? It's just tighter, lower scoring, intense games. That's what MLB playoffs is, right? So, they take away that extra innings rule. So that's why you're seeing these totals start way lower than we've seen in the MLB of late, right? So if you're wondering why these totals are so low, that's why. And also just way better fucking pitchers are going to be starting every single night for these teams because they're good teams. Yeah. But I think Houston wins this. I'm with you. That first game might be sketch, but if I'm locking in a series price here, unfortunately, I'm taking Houston minus 220. They're winning this. Now we get to the good one. I genuinely think the Guardians could win this series, and it makes me want to puke just saying it. I want to puke. But the bullpens, man, the bullpen edge here, it's not even close. I mean, I'm sure you saw Chapman isn't even fucking here, which honestly might be a good thing for the Yankees with how bad he's been. That's a story that has not been getting talked about enough today, I don't think.
Yeah.
Chapman just not showing up to workouts, and they're like, fuck you, dude. See ya. He's probably gone. Definitely not pitching this series. The Guardians' bullpen is absolutely elite. They're really fucking good. Clase is unhittable to close these games out for these guys. So that's the one significant edge I think the Guardians have in this series. We could talk about their fluke shit all we want, but it's continued to work. It worked in the fucking Rays series too, and I'm sorry that series blew. If the Rays could just hit a speck, they win that series. But how do you see this one playing out? Let's try to put the biases aside. Everyone knows we fucking hate these teams. What do you genuinely think is going to happen here?
I mean, I don't think the Guardians' bats are going to be able to hang with the Yankees. And honestly, I think like the Guardians being probably the hottest team in the league at this point, looking at the price, it almost feels a little high for the Yankees, being that they have the bullpen advantage, being that their pitching is going to keep them in pretty much every single game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see them being able to keep up with them. And if we look at the pitchers too, like sure, Shane Bieber and Tristan McKenzie were absolutely fantastic in the Rays series, but I could go out there and look fantastic against that lineup. They had the most swing and misses like per 9 in the history of playoff games. They had the top 2 in both of those games. So it's I don't know. And we're going like Cal Quantrill on the road, who's human for game 1. I would assume that we're getting Savali in some form of the bullpen in game 2. So they're hittable. They're good pitchers, just like everybody in that rotation. But yeah, I mean the total of 7. I know Garrett Cole does his thing too, but I just don't see their offense being able to keep up with the Yankees.
Okay. And I agree with you. That's a significant advantage for the Yanks is their lineup that seems to be, at least relatively coming back to life, because they were dead at one point at the second half. But a lot of injury stuff. Their lineup offensively is healthier now. Do the Yankees probably win this series? Yeah, but do I think it could get sweaty enough where a plus 175 might be a decent look here for the guards? For sure.
Yeah.
I like the guards series price here, but do the Yankees probably win it? Yeah, they probably do.
I mean, if you're gonna take a series price underdog, like I don't like either of the first two. The second two are probably your best bets.
And we'll get to the last series, which I think maybe we'll have more of an underdog take, but it's good for baseball if the Yankees advance. I'm not saying there's going to be some sketchy shit going on, but I am saying there definitely could be some sketchy shit going on in this series. More money in major league owners' pockets if this team advances, straight up, compared to this team. Nobody gives a fuck about the Guardians. They're pop. Don't be surprised if we see some juice baseballs in this series either. So,
that's true.
The Yankees probably do win. The Aaron Judge magic probably does continue. I'm cool with locking this in. I think maybe I'm letting my Yankee biases really get to me, but fuck the Guardians, straight up. Maybe the Magic does run out. Now this is one where I can't budge. I think the Padres win this series. I really do. I think they win this series. If Musgrove is going to be pitching like that going forward, that is huge. This lineup is awake. The Dodgers had some time off. All the pressure's on them. Padres are feeling good. They're probably feeling a little looser after getting that huge win against the Mets, who folded. Hilarious, by the way. I want nothing to do with the Dodgers. And I know the Dodgers have the best team I've really ever seen assembled. I get it, right? And we're asking for a lot here. But don't you think it's something that the Dodgers are only minus 210 and you're seeing teams like the Yankees and Astros here that have the same, if not longer, odds prices? Like if the Dodgers really are the greatest team ever assembled, they probably should be the most heavily favored team to advance, in my opinion. Maybe it's because the Padres are finally showing life at the right time. I think they get it done. I really do. They're going to have to get it done offensively. It's going to be sketch. But I think Juan Soto and Machado lead this team to victory. And if their bullpen can just be decent and Hader can pitch like he did towards the end of the season, he's going to need to be perfect. I think they have a chance. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they definitely have a chance. I just don't think they have a chance in game one. So I think if you're taking Padres series price, I think you wait after game one because it's I think they're minus like 230, 220, which rightfully so because that Dodgers lineup absolutely owns Clevenger and he's just not even great to begin with.
Yeah.
I think you're getting a solid shout live betting their series price if you think they're going to take the series after game one.
Okay. And I think the same thing with Astros, like we talked about as well, too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay. Well, that's what we got. Look ahead spots. And we'll talk about each game more specifically tomorrow, obviously, because that's when the games are. Today, we've got a fucking football game to cap. And I'm on the Raiders. Am I a little concerned? Yeah, I am a little bit concerned with how Pat Mahomes has looked against his team the last couple of years. He owns them. Pat Mahomes owns the Raiders. He's been an absolute fucking machine against this team, game in, game out, over the last couple of years. So I do think the Raiders finally get one here. We're seeing the line move a little bit, finally. Give me the Raiders plus 7.5. If you have that on your book, guys, lock that in now, like I already said, because you're not going to get 7.5 in 30 minutes. This line's cooking already. I like the way the line's moving. You're hearing, we heard it all day in chats. As soon as we started up the stream, Jovan, all I saw in chat was Vegas isn't scoring. Vegas is losing by 3 touchdowns here. Pat Mahomes isn't losing, which is exactly what we want to hear. All right. Another prop I wanted to take, shout out my guy Saintly Doink on Twitter for pointing this one out. Derek Carr has thrown an interception against the Chiefs in 8 straight games. 8 straight games. Did you by any chance see who's up for an interception prop on Prize Picks today by any chance?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, well, it's him. It's him. He's up. No Mahomes in sight, which you'd probably see people take as unders, which tells me he's probably going to pitch pretty fucking good. But I cannot not bet this prop, especially after getting burned by fucking. I mean, I got absolutely burned on the Matt Ryan pick. He looked like fucking shit. I'm taking this. I'm taking under half a pick. Derek Carr is going to have an absolute day. I think he absolutely deals. What are you thinking about this game tonight? I need some football brain angle here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that pick whatsoever. I'm certainly scared of taking the Raiders. That is for sure. So I don't know what I'm going to be on for that, but I'm definitely locked into a couple props here. I think this game is going to be just a classic. Like I lean towards the over for sure, but I just think there's going to be tempo overall.
Yep.
Which makes me like a lot of the running backs for pretty much any prop available. My favorite one is probably Isaiah Pacheco's rushing yards. Clyde's back up.
Sure.
When you have that tempo, you're going to have a lot of guys in for shifts of multiple plays, and that's where he's gotten a lot of his chunk rushing yards on back-to-back carries, whatever you may call it. So I think you're going to get a lot of chunk runs from Pacheco. I think you're going to get a lot of dump downs to Clyde, and I think it's going to be the same thing on the other side. I think a lot of the backs for the Raiders are going to be heavily involved in the check down passing game. The question for them, it's a little scarier to take Raiders ones because like Jacobs is surely involved, but they got a lot of guys you get the check downs there too. So I would say my favorite is definitely the Pacheco over rushing yards.
Okay. Looks like they only have Kelsey up for receiving touchdown. All right. No Devontae Adams up here. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, you know what I think about this square. I fucking hate its guts. I hate how it's looking at me. I really do. Not recommending taking his under yet, at least. I need to see everyone on earth be on his over first. But this one, yeah. I'm liking how Derek Carr's looking here. He looks like he means business. No smile on his face. No fun. No fun tonight for the Raiders. Only winning. Any other weird shit on here?
I wouldn't say there's anything weird, but
Ooh, Clyde.
I don't mind that one. I do not mind that one.
You don't mind his under?
I don't mind his over.
Wow. Okay. You're thinking like a normal person. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it just lines up with a lot of stuff. Like I like the running backs in this game. Not to say they're going to go out there and get 30 carries or anything, because that's not how these teams operate. But
right,
I think they'll be in position. There's going to be a lot of gassed D lines because that's how it works when you play tempo as an offense. So they're just going to be gashing them on the run a couple times. So I think, especially if they get out of the goal line and they're on a nice little drive, that's probably how it's going to be capped off.
Okay. Final score prediction?
Final score prediction. Take 38-31 Chiefs.
I was 34-31 Chiefs. 38-31 pace for me at least. Plus 7.5.
Yeah.
Good pace. Chat, what do you guys like the best? I know Kev's firing off some plays. What are your favorite props? We got Renfro over receptions. Do we finally see Darren Waller do something today?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it seems like this would be a game.
The dude hasn't done anything all year. I think we finally see him do something today. I think we at least see Derek Carr try to get him the ball more, right? Like these guys are looking at themselves in the mirror saying, whatever's going on right now, whatever we're doing right now, it's not working. So let's think about what we did last year that worked. Let's think about what we need to do to change this. And I think one of the main things is we need to get Darren Waller more involved in this offense because he's just not, especially after they just paid him. They got to get him the ball more. The dude's had 3 receptions in the last 2 games each. I don't hate his over receptions prop today. Maybe he doesn't get in the end zone. Maybe he doesn't get his yards. But the guy's had 3 receptions each the last 2 weeks, and now his receiving props at 5. The dudes look like shit. I like his over there. I think he gets fed the rock.
I can go with
Darren
that.
Waller day. Darren Waller day today. I get behind that. LMNG223 has a donkey. Well, don't hold it all to yourself, bro. Let me know what the donk is, bro. Straight up. Renfro has been very, very good against Kansas City the last couple games. I agree. But Kansas City knows that. I'm sure that's been talked about all week in film. They know that shit. They're not going to let that little guy beat him. All right? Danny said, I can't wait till the Dodgers face Muskie. You think he's going to shove? I'm assuming that's what he's saying. He's going to absolutely hammer the Padres at like plus 160 against the Dodgers that night.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Juju
guess.
masterclass.
I guess it's not what he's talking about.
You think he's going to fade Musgrove against the Dodgers?
It's just what I'm guessing.
Let's see what he's got. I mean, it could go either way.
You'll see. At the Gen.
Waller is the Gen dirty play tonight. Alt yards, some TD. I like his receptions better, but you might be right. Wow, Danny does like Dodgers. Good call. Good call. Yeah, after all this Musgrove talk, maybe he was cheating. I mean, crazy timing for his rotations per minute to go up that much, right?
Yeah.
Crazy timing.
Very.
Crazy timing. Wow, DeGen does like Waller today, but he likes yards.
Well, it's all part of his. It's just one of the sneak ones where he throws just all the crazy ladder combinations, I'm pretty sure.
Sure. Well, his receiving yard prop, let me see if I can pull it up. His receiving yards prop is at 50.5, and the dude's has only hit that one time this season. It was week 1. The guy hasn't had more than 50 yards. Hasn't had more than 51 yards in the last 3 weeks. Coming
I will
off
say
22
though,
and 24 yards. Jesus.
Not that I disagree necessarily, but there's also like a game script, like a total script and a defense thing that is boosting that number a good bit too. Because I mean, he's played against the Broncos and the Titans, which are not terrible defenses, and I'm fairly certain lower total games than this.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Little grain of
but
salt.
If you can't score against that Titans secondary, you're worse than the Commanders. That Titans secondary is fucking terrible, dude.
They didn't.
Absolutely terrible.
That was the Mac Hollins legacy game. Nobody else did anything.
It's a good point. All eyes on Adams and Kelsey tonight. Waller with the right hook. Love it. 8 catches, 100+ yards, 2 touchdowns incoming. All right, DeGen. I can hop on the Waller train today. It's about time. They got to be looking themselves in the mirror saying, what are we doing wrong? What do we have to do to change? And that's got to be number 1 on the list is feed our tight end who we just paid more. And let's see if that works because whatever they're doing isn't. And their coach is on the hot seat. What's the Pickett referral code? Just sign up through the link that Book It tweeted out. Okay. How about Justin Fields looking a little bit better yesterday? Maybe it's just the Vikings defense. It's Pav.
Kind of is.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, we have the worst Thursday night football game probably ever, and we could talk about it for a second. The worst Thursday night football game of all time this Thursday. You guys thought Broncos was bad this past Thursday? No. Yeah. If you don't know, it's the fucking Commanders at the Bears. Maybe the worst game ever. I think the world might explode when they kick that ball off. Who is deciding these games? Who's picking these? Bezos is picking these?
Yeah.
Is he getting a discount? Because these are the Amazon Prime games, right? Is Bezos getting a discount for these games? He should be. They're terrible. Chat, what do we think? Who do we think is going to win the game? Commanders versus Bears in Chicago. Bears are -1. Who do you guys like? Bears or Commies? Let me know. 0-0 tie. That's the right answer, probably. Yeah. I'm honestly curious because it's like 2 disgusting teams. I'd assume that we get more Bears talk because they look decent last week, right? And we look fucking terrible. And they're putting us at that weird +1 line, which I love. But, dude, like the last 3 weeks I've been on the Commanders because of the line and they haven't fucking covered. Like, at what point do I just give up and just stop betting this poverty team?
Might be now. Maybe let it
probably
let it rest for a second. Let it rest for a second. I mean, I can tell you, I don't know if I'm betting the Bears, but I'll be betting the same props that I did yesterday with the Commanders.
What would that be?
That would be Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney. 100%.
Wow. Yeah, well, if William Jackson is on the field, feel free to take whatever receivers on the Bears. Although he did get benched during the game. Thank God. Finally got benched. They put in Benjamin St. Juste, who is, I guess, a little bit better. But holy shit, man. William Jackson couldn't cover a fucking traffic count. Literally. I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. You like Fields over passing yards?
I mean, depending on the numbers that come out for everything, like I'll be on
Yeah.
him in some form.
Yeah. I mean, our D-line did look better this week. They made some plays. They had some sacks, but our secondary still looks like dog water. So, yeah, I don't hate that. And you'll probably get a really fucking good line on his passing yards because he's Justin Fields, you know? I will be on this bet. Yep. Give me that.
It's a stick.
William Jackson, yeah. William Jackson is the worst cornerback I've ever watched. Unbelievable. How do we not hand the ball off to Brian Robinson on the 1 yard line to win the game?
They had no timeouts.
Don't care. You had they had 33 seconds or whatever on the 1. You have plenty of time for another play.
33
He doesn't get
seconds?
it. Plenty of time. You run the play, yeah, you eat some time, whatever. You fucking shit. You could fucking spike it if you want. I don't give a fuck. I think you give the ball to Brian Robinson. Talk about the perfect NFL game script. I mean, the amount of tweets we would see from fucking NFL being like, here's Brian Robinson winning the game for the Commanders. The gambling gods alley-ooped the Commanders yesterday, and we fucking missed the ball. It was the perfect opportunity. So beat. Plenty of time to run at least one run play. I agree. Although we couldn't run the ball at all yesterday. Brian Robinson, great story. If you guys didn't fucking see that, figure it out. Although the dude did only have 22 yards yesterday. But I blame that on our line. Absolutely atrocious. Shout out Bailey Zappi, though.
Him.
Were you on the Pats?
I mean, yeah, I had to be with that line.
Okay, word. Yeah, that line was sauce. Yeah, the Pats were free. That was a great fucking bet. That was just Belichick, just masterclass was what that was. That was him just out-coaching. Their defense was absolutely tuned. What a game.
Yeah.
What a game for
Bailey.
Bailey.
My guy, Ramondre.
Ramondre Stevenson.
That's going to continue.
He's been a fantasy football workhorse. Yeah, so what's good with Dion?
Yeah, so it looks like he's –
or Damian Harris. What's good with Damian Harris?
I mean, it's looking like he's going to miss a couple times or a couple games, a little bit of time
games
with his hammy. So it's going to continue being the Ramondre. So
Ramondre season. Let's go, dudes.
I'm excited.
Let's go, dudes. Unbelievable. Hamstring injury. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. If I was Mac Jones, would not be sleeping well. I would not be sleeping well. And then another quarterback I got to shout out, and this, I mean, you guys should know that this is a pretty fucking honest take if I'm saying this. Next week, no matter what, I don't care if Dak Prescott is 100% healthy. He's not starting next week. Cooper Rush is starting next week, no matter what. And, you're going to hear from Jerry Jones. You're going to hear from the Cowboys, Dak isn't ready yet, whatever. Even if he was, they wouldn't tell us that he was. Plain and simple. They're going to ride out this Cooper Rush thing and see if he's him. Because he has not lost a game, and he's looked more than fine at this point. So maybe they found a diamond in the rough. But Dak Prescott, bro, that injury is going to be taking way longer than they expected to heal, is all I'm going to say. AKA, even if he's fucking healthy, he ain't playing. No way. You agree or no?
Oh, 100%. Like you can't bench him at this point. And
you can't.
Like the big thing here is like the way their schedule is set up. Like if they come out and they beat the Eagles in this game, it's going to take even longer because they're not going to bench him against the Lions or the Bears, and he's going to look even better than he has in those games. So I mean, they're going to have to keep riding this out for quite some time.
I'm very curious to see how this plays out. You can't bench Cooper Rush right now. You just can't. Unbelievable. And shout out me for starting CeeDee Lamb this week over Gabe Davis.
Oof.
That one hurt. Yeah. Gabe Davis sitting on my bench this week. Disgusting. Also sat on my bench week 1, and I started him last week, and he didn't do anything. Super Rush looks like prime Brady. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, Crook were beat, dude. Terrible GM decision by us, Crook. That's on us. That's on us. Gabe Davis, when he's healthy, the dude is a menace, and he's going to just continue to eat. Continue to eat. And obviously, we saw Matt Rule got fired too, right? That was maybe the most shocking thing ever. I mean, I hope Ron Rivera's next. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Cooper Rush is just a good game manager, but that defense, that's really all you need.
You just can't bench a guy who's never lost. Like, you can't do that.
No, yeah. It messes with the morale of the team. You can't do that.
You can't. You can't. Although, if any team is to do that, it would be Jerry.
Would it, though? Because, I mean, that's how Dak got the job.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
But my point is, he forces fucking McCarthy to give Zeke the rock more than Pollard still. And even though Pollard's, honestly, I think we all can agree Pollard's probably a little bit better right now at their ages. At this point in their careers, he's better. But since they paid Zeke, he still seems to get the ball a little bit more. Didn't they just pay Dak?
Did they?
That might fucking drive Jerry Jones nuts. I don't know. You're right, though. That is how Dak got his fucking job. Yeah, that is how he got his job. Yeah, he did just get paid, dude. 4 years, $160 million.
Okay. I thought they gave him like a little
no, they paid him.
Deal.
Jerry might be like, no, you are playing Dak because I just paid him $1 zillion. That if there's one owner who's doing that, it's Jerry. Hundo pay. But that's pretty much it from football recap, at least. I mean, Daniel Jones also, shout out Danny Dimes, who looks serviceable at this point. I hope he keeps playing like this and they give him a deal. I really do, because I'm not scared of Danny. I want him to be the quarterback that I'm facing 2 times a year, although he does own us. He's looking better. And shout out Brian Dable for coming over and using him like Josh Allen a little bit, running. Genius.
Yeah.
Genius. It's been working. That's a good coach. That's a good coach who knows how to use his players, up to their potential. Maybe Danny Dimes does get paid. I think he probably gets franchise tagged, and they pull some Kirk Cousins shit for next year. But he's looking a little bit better. He just took down Aaron Rodgers. So, absolutely incredible. If you would have told me the Giants would be 4-1 right now, I'd call you a fucking liar to your face. But they are. They are.
Yeah.
Insane.
They are, and they're playing well.
Absolutely insane. Our guy Jack
football openers.
wants us to talk some football openers.
Yeah, let's talk about that because there's some crazy stuff out.
What do we got? Football. Hit me with it.
I mean, off the rip, Clemson is a 4.5-point favorite on the road going to Florida State. That is the one that is absolutely screaming at me. There's very clearly something wrong there.
Ooh, that line's already moving. Did that line actually open up at 7.5?
That was the look ahead, yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5, 4. I mean, FSU, which they've been playing okay, but I mean they're coming off a loss to NC State, which another good team, but 4.5 against Clemson.
When Clemson's finally starting to look good, right? Clemson's finally starting to play well. Okay. Wow. I have to bet Florida State. Do we have to lock this in now, or are we locking this in? Are we waiting?
I want to wait on this one because I want to see, because it did reach 4 a lot of places, and then I'm starting to see 4.5.
Okay.
So I want to see if it keeps kind of creeping up to see that one, but very biased one that I locked in pretty much before the game on Saturday was almost over is TCU.
Dude.
Which I had to. Like, and it's not even a bias thing, like looking at the line now, because I thought it was really, really interesting how quick they crossed the field goal line. Because the look-ahead line was 2-1 some places. And before he even went to bed last night, they were shooting up past that 3 field goal, like 3.5, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3.5 on most books now too. Holy smokes.
Yeah, so I mean that going up that
Holy
quickly,
smokes.
which I know, like I can't give an unbiased opinion on it realistically, but like that going up that quick past that line definitely was screaming at me.
Yeah. Trying to find these. I'm trying to look at the line history for these games, bro. Give me a sec.
I saw that look ahead total was also really, really low, 60.5, and got up to 68 quite quickly.
Jesus, dude. Does that make you like TCU more or less?
Makes me like them more because I mean we saw like Oklahoma State's defense, not the TCU's defense is so significantly better, but we saw Texas Tech and a lot of teams really they've played so far just have their way with that defense. So makes me think it's going to be a classic shootout that we come out and win by a touchdown maybe.
Okay. Damn, bro. I might have to lock in Florida State kind of soon. I'm looking at the line movement on these books.
It's starting to come back down.
Let me look at this one. Hold on. Maybe it was just DK. I need to dig into these lines a little bit more, but
yeah,
I might be locking this one in before COB. Is my point. I might be locking this one before COB today.
Yeah. Well, here's one that is kind of moving the opposite way, moving the way in the fact that you want to lock it in right now.
Okay.
Utah is now -3.5, hosting USC.
Dudes. Goodness gracious. That's disgusting.
Yeah, very disgusting.
That's disgusting. Wow, it's on TV too. I love this Utah team as well. Coming off of getting absolutely spanked by UCLA. That was a bad read by me. UCLA bettors this weekend, good shit. That was sharp. Bad read by me on that. That was gross. Yeah, give me Utah all day. -3.5. Let me look and see where this line's been moving. If this goes to 4, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Well, I saw it at 3 very recently. I think it just went up to 3.5.
Let's see.
And it's odds wise, I'm still seeing it's a decent way away from getting to 4, but might hit it eventually.
I don't know. I'm seeing on DK this morning, it actually was at 4, and now it's at 3.5. Let me see on some other books. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing on fucking Caesars too. So that line's honestly coming down a little bit.
Interesting.
At least today. Let's keep eyes on that too. But what else you got? Because these are 3 bets that I'm gonna have these locked in no matter what at some point. All these lines are sketchy as shit. I have to take these. What else tickles your fancy? Any other lines that look weird as shit?
Well, you know what? I know the quarterbacks on both sides have a big part to do with this, but Oklahoma being -7.5 now against Kansas is really, really interesting. Like I know it mostly would have to do with probably Jalen Daniels is going to be out, and then Dylan Gabriel I would assume is going to be back. But even with that being the case, a 7.5-point favorite with how the rest of that Oklahoma team has looked the last 2 weeks and how
they just got shut out by fucking Texas, dude.
They just got shut out.
7.5 to a ranked team.
Yeah, and it's with Beville. I get it. Which that offense looks so bad without Dylan Gabriel, but
yeah,
it's 7.5. Like that's another one where I was like staring at it because it opened 7 and then it very, very quickly crossed that line to 7.5. That was I don't know. It's still, even with the quarterback difference and everything, it still feels like a lot of points to me.
Yeah, I'm looking to see where this line's been moving. Let's fucking peep it, dude. Yeah, it's moved from, opened up 7.5, went to 7, went to 7.5 again. Okay. Let me check on some other books here.
I will say too, like if it's one of those that's bouncing back and forth, I would wait because these Big 12 lines, especially, like I've been paying attention to, they've been really, really sharp. Like we're talking like the TCU line landing on a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma State last week, their line was bouncing 9.5, 10. What happens? They win by 10. A lot of them have been really sharp. So if a lot of these Big 12 lines, I would almost even recommend buying a point if you don't get it at the key number that you want. But you should probably get it at some point during the week.
And Jake has a really good point. Kansas is the Orioles of college football. Yeah, they are.
They are.
They just win. They just win and they just cover. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm seeing on most books, Oklahoma open at 7 and they're at 7.5 on most. So that line is moving. If that moves to 8, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane. I will be on Oklahoma as well. I mean, quarterback, schmorterback. I don't give a fuck if both quarterbacks are out for both teams. Oklahoma getting shut out by Texas, 3-3 against one of the trendiest teams in football, laying 7.5. You kidding me? That's gross.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks are going to be out. Both stars are going to be out. That's gross.
It's another weird one in the Big 12 too, I think.
What else you got?
You got the game on Thursday, which Baylor only catching 3.5 points on the road against West Virginia, which looked really, really bad. And I know Baylor's probably not in the highest public graces either, but this is a team with that super low win total that we targeted, and they're going to have to lose some of these games that they really don't belong losing. And with this line, it kind of seems like this might be one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so out on this Baylor team. West Virginia really does suck, though, but goddamn.
Yeah, they do.
They'll have it's a bye, too. West Virginia has had a bye week, too. Is that true?
West Virginia?
Who did they play this past week?
No, they played or did not play.
Yeah, they had a bye. So they've had 2 weeks to prep for this, which is good. Yeah. Okay. Same with Baylor, though. Same with Baylor. Well, both teams had a bye week because it's the short week. That's what they do for these Thursday night games. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, give me West Virginia. Give me JT Daniels. God damn it. I hate betting on this team, but I don't have a fucking choice. That's wild. That line moved from 2.5 to 3.5 already on Baylor. Not really a shocker. That might have been a look-ahead line too, though.
Yeah, possibly.
The money's going to be coming in on Baylor, and we're going to be reaping the benefits, and we're going to be on West Virginia +4, hopefully. That's what we want. Okay. What else we got? Anything else look fishy?
I don't know about fishy, but
I'm scrolling through right now.
I'm very curious of what kind of the public take is going to be with JMU coming in ranked and catching 10.5 points, which has seemed like a very trappy number against Georgia Southern on the road.
Yeah. Also, first of all, shout out JMU. Good for them. Good for them. Poverty school, but good for them. It's like such a middle finger to my face seeing JMU ranked as terrible as VT is right now. I mean, they're going to start taking all of our recruits.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, why would you go to VT anymore? Just go to fucking JMU. Yeah, that's trappy as fuck. Georgia Southern coming off a terrible loss to my Georgia State team that I continue to bet on. They actually did come through this weekend, though. Finally.
Well, this is Georgia Southern. This is the competent one.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Georgia Southern just lost to my Georgia State.
Oh, okay.
So they're coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Now they're at home against JMU, who is 5-0 ATS and outright this year. Books don't know how to cap this team yet, obviously. Now they're going to be ranked for the first time. The books are going to have to make sure that they put out a line where JMU doesn't cover because people are going to be taking this JMU team that's going to be getting talked about all week. I'm so with you on this, Jovan. I'm so with you on this. The books did not know how to cap this team. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't fucking think JMU was going to be this good this quick. Nobody did. That's not even a hot take. Nobody thought they'd be this good this quick. They are. They've been an absolute covering machine this season and in their conference. Like, they've been absolutely working everybody. Working them. There's no way the books get burned a 6th week in a row with this team. Georgia State's going to cover this game, I think. Georgia Southern, sorry. But you're saying that 10.5 line is sketching you a little bit?
No, I mean, it's sketching me a little bit to want to take
JMU.
Georgia Southern. Yeah, I mean, it's that number based on like the games that I've seen, based on the matchup that we're getting, everything just screams backdoor. Everything screams backdoor. So it makes it seem very likely that we get one of those.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to see what that line's been doing. Let's see. Cannot believe I'm seeing. It's like a nightmare seeing JMU ranked. Just FYI, if I haven't made that clear, it's a nightmare. It sums up. I mean, all my. Can I just get one team? Can I just get one? That's good. I guess it's the Caps.
Yeah.
I guess I get the Caps. Awesome. But JMU, let's see. Yeah, JMU looked like they moved from 10 to 10.5 skis already on DK. Opened up at 10, now they're at 10.5. All right. Let's check out some other books. Pretty much they've been at 10.5 the whole time. Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be on Poverty, Georgia Southern this weekend. It is what it is. It is what it is. Michigan, Penn State, get busy. Dizzy's asking about. That's a great game.
Fantastic.
Penn State's a covering machine. Michigan also been a covering machine the last year and a half. I want nothing to do with either of these teams. What do you think, Jovan?
I mean,
I think really both these teams are overrated, overhyped.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, we've talked about the Big Ten. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think there's a team that's not fraudulent in the Big Ten that's not named Ohio State. But
yeah,
these teams are definitely in that category. I see a lot of people very obsessed with the under, which is, making me think a certain way.
Obviously.
But I don't know. This feels like a pretty sharp game overall. It's not like a line that's screaming at me. It's not like a football reason that's screaming at me either. I think it's going to be a close game for a while that maybe Michigan pulls away late. Could cover, could not. I don't really have a play in this game or one that I'm looking at.
Okay. Well, here's a game that I do want to talk about, and this is the game that I've been waiting for a long time. I finally get to put my coins where my mouth is. It's Tennessee, plus 7.5 at home against Bama. And you know what? I'm going to have units on the ML. I'm going to be taking Tennessee ML. I'm going to be taking Tennessee plus 7.5. They're winning this fucking football game. Bama's going down. This team has not impressed me much this year. They're coming off an extremely strenuous game, extremely stressful game last week. Would I have preferred it if they won last week by 60 and maybe having a letdown spot here? For sure. But what I will say is that Bama is not looking like the well-oiled machine we're typically used to. And I really do think Hendon Hooker and this Tennessee team is going to cause that defense some fits. And I think Tennessee is going to be hanging around within a touchdown here. If it's public, don't care. If it's square, don't care. I'm going to be on the Volunteers. I have this team in my national championship, in my college football playoffs. I have them in there, plus 8,000. They win this game. This Saturday, is the first big step for them getting into the college football playoff. And for Hendon Hooker, who is still getting disrespected in the Heisman voting, he's going to show to everybody at 3:30 Eastern time on Saturday that he is the best quarterback right now in college football. Is he going to be the best pro? Probably not. That's probably going to be Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. Let's be honest here. But Hendon Hooker this season is and will be the best quarterback in college football. He should win the Heisman. This team's going to the playoffs, and they're beating Alabama at home. I love Tennessee getting a touchdown here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I definitely want to see. I don't know the Bryce Young situation, if he's going to be good or whatever with that. But if he's not, I will for sure be on the over in this game. Because if there's – I know Tennessee's offense is absolutely dynamic. Bama's is still Bama, but it's not the same offense without Bryce Young. So if he is not playing and this total is sitting 65.5, that's a lot of respect to both these offenses. So I will be on that over if he doesn't end up playing.
Okay. That is a lot of respect, especially with how bad Bama's backup looked.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if he plays too, I still kind of like it because I think it's going to be a football brain side of things. I think it's going to be a game that's going to be won by putting up points. Like, I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring slugfest like we saw last week in College Station.
Right.
I guess it wasn't in College Station, but against Texas A&M.
Yep.
So it's one that I'm eyeing for sure.
And Mason, I don't know. I don't think it's going to move back to 7. I'd be shocked if it does. It's moved from 7 to 7.5 on most books already. So I think if anything, it might move towards Bama. I hope it does, because I want more points here. I'm going to be on Tennessee either way. I absolutely love this team, and they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
They're really fucking good.
I think something else, like with that line, kind of pointing me towards the over is I think the look ahead line being at 14.5 and going straight down to 7, with the total going up a touchdown as well, is kind of pointing me to think that this is going to be a shootout game that we expect. So
okay, we're gonna need Mima up for this one, which shouldn't be a problem. The game should be over by 6:30 ish. She should still be barely up, right?
Barely up, yeah.
We're gonna need Mima awake on Saturday. Make sure she gets a coffee in, because we're gonna need her up. Need that back door open. Need Tennessee to just hang around long enough. They're gonna have no problem scoring. It's gonna be the defense. It really is. So I agree. Let's wait and see Bryce Young and make sure he's playing, because I think we all thought he was going to play this past week. And then right before the game, Nick Saban was being a cock and ruled him out, obviously. Could see some similar shit this week, too.
Yeah.
All right. Any other crazy lines? I mean, Syracuse is -3.5 to NC State. I don't even know if that's that sketchy or not, though. But
yeah.
And NC State's been looking pretty freaking good. They do have a loss, though. But it's a team with a worse ranking, sitting -3.5 at home. Definitely lean Syracuse, but who knows with these ACC teams, man. They're just not good.
Well, honestly, you might be on NC State in that situation, because I think Devin Leary was in a sling at the end of that game.
No way.
Yeah, I mean he didn't play for a good portion of the end of that game. So
I know, but I didn't think he was actually hurt like that.
I mean I don't know the status of him coming into the next week, but he was 100% in the sling.
Damn, bro. I mean, they're saying positive news, but it's definitely a shoulder injury, and that's definitely not good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, that's definitely another game we got to wait, and we got to see what's good with that injury first. All
100%. Right. I mean, the more we see it kind of ticking towards Syracuse a little bit, the more that I'm thinking he's probably not going to be available.
Okay.
But I mean, if it stays kind of in the same spot, it might feel a little short for a Syracuse team that I think is still better than NC State with Leary.
Okay. God, man. This guy in chat's geeking me. Alabama alum here. Fuck Tennessee. And then handyman under it says locking in Tennessee after seeing that. Okay. Unbelievable. All right. We got like 3 minutes. Let's let the people know again, if they join late, what we like for tonight's Monday Night Football. I like Derek Carr under a pick. You liked Pacheco over rushing yards. The game script's telling you he might get a little bit more action today than usual. Yep. And we might be getting some points. Maybe we do get a rare over in a primetime game tonight. I'm not touching the under. I'm not touching it tonight. Even though it might be sketchy and gross, I don't want anything to do with it. The unders have been too free of late. I think the books are going to adjust a little bit. I'm out on them, at least for now. Give me the Raiders +7.5. Are you going to give out any plays today or for a side or anything like that?
I mean, for a side, I probably lean the Chiefs, but I'm not sure if I'll be locking that in. But I'll probably stay on the squares. Pacheco is probably my favorite one, and I will get in the lab. I'll be in the lab, labbing up and see if we're going to look at some other ones.
Attaboy. Well, I'm going to take Pacheco, and I'm going to take the Derek Carr int right now before the lines move on the Pacheco thing. I'm taking it. Little BTL two-piece. Why not us?
Why not?
Why not us? And that's Derek Carr under a pick, by the way, ladies and gents. So crazy. It just might work. Oh, look, projections have changed.
They've changed.
Wow. He's at 22 rushing yards. What was he at before? Oh, no.
I'll tell you.
Did he just go up or down? He got bumped down.
I'm good with that. I'm still taking it.
Wow.
Give me that. I'll play the bump on that.
22.5.
So you kind of got you got middled. That's fine. Cool with that.
Okay. Wait, did he just bump back up though?
No, I think they were kind of
people are saying
him.
20.5.
It looks like they were settling him with the book odds. If he's 20.5 on a book, and they had them 24.5 on Prize Picks. They're probably just middling for the odds. So
Okay.
that's not a bump down that really scares me.
Okay. It definitely scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not good. At the end of the day, though, square bets hit, sharp bets hit, square bets lose, sharp bets lose. You just got to click the right button, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, local bookie, my man seeing 24.5. Those usually move a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is going to move down. Hey, if it moves back down, I'll bet it again. Fuck it. John, don't have time for this today, bro. Can't be doing it. Can't be doing it today. It's a new week.
Can't have it.
It's Monday. Sunday was yesterday. Today is Monday. We move on. We're on to, I guess we're not on to week 6 yet in the NFL, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Shout out the commies, man. They are taking years off my life, but at least your Bucks are coming through, Jovan, somehow.
Kind of.
Some way.
Crawling through.
Absolutely limping, but getting it done. The GOAT's getting it done. W stream, ladies and gents, thanks for coming. Let's have a fucking day. Let's get the vibes up. We got Trent taking over, and we've got football tonight. Everything's going to be okay. All right, ladies and gents. Jovan, as always, appreciate you on here. We'll be seeing. All right, let's get our units